Tree Country 1330 WTRE. Good morning, 10:02. We've got Greensburg School Superintendent Tom Hunter with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys have been busy at it.
Yep, it's been a really busy beginning of the school year, and especially these past few weeks getting everything finalized with our 2026 school budget, and then also starting and continuing with the bargaining process with our Teachers Association for the 2025-2026 teacher contract. So it's been a really busy, in particular, last month.
It's crazy how fast this school year has kicked off.
Yep, we're over halfway through the first 9 weeks of the school year, believe it or not.
Headed towards fall break.
Yep, headed towards fall break.
You guys had a school board meeting last night?
Yeah, we did, and it was very, very busy meeting because we had a lot of different items that we needed to get taken care of last night. One being the budget, the 2026 budget. Last night, the board approved the CPF plan, which was for $4,676,000, and our bus replacement plan, which was for $450,000. And if you want to take a look at either of those plans, you can go online, and it's on our website, the Greensburg Schools website. You can take a look at the details of either one of those plans. But those were approved by the board last night. Those will go on to the DLGF, which will make any cuts that they need to make in any of those plans. We also, want to look at, our budget would include about $18 million in our education fund, about $9.5 million in our operations fund. Our debt service is about $2.8 million. We have about a $30 million overall budget, and that's pretty much in line with what it's been over the last few years. Our tax rate that we advertised was 1.0687, which is actually a penny less than what the advertised rate was last year. We don't know what the specific tax rate's going to be until the DLGF sets all that, but last year it was about 69 cents. We anticipate it being probably about the same. Probably definitely not anymore since our AV went up about $20 million. So, we're up above the $1 billion AV level right now, so that's going to keep our tax rate one of the lowest tax rates as far as schools go in the state. So, we're very glad we can keep at least the school portion of our tax rate as low as possible. But that business was taken care of last night. The next thing that we will have is we'll have a public hearing on our budget that'll be September 16th, held by our city council, who has to approve our school budget since we do have an appointed school board. And then on October the 14th, the city council will be asked to approve our total budget. So those are the next two steps. Then the 2026 budget will be completed, and probably the day after we start on the 2027 budget. It seems like that's kind of the way it goes. It just continually runs together. But we've been very, very stable and very consistent in what our budget's been over the last, really decade. In particular, the last 5 years.
For someone that's not very familiar, that's the normal process that the budgeting goes through, though, the different hearings to get approved.
Yeah, and we've had public hearings on our budget, in our office, as far as the school board goes. So, anyone who really wants to come in and ask questions, it's there. The budget is out there on our website. If you have any questions about it, just give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Our board meetings now, like all board meetings, they're on video. You can go and watch our board meetings if you like on our website. So we try to be as transparent with everything as we can. And again, anyone who ever has any questions about the budgeting process, just give me a call and I'll be glad to answer those.
All right. Any other business at the meeting last night?
Yeah, we had a lot of different things going on. We approved the bonding of our corporation treasurers and our ECA treasurers, Andrea Phillips, Gail McIntyre, Tiffany Stainbrook, and Sue Burkhardt and Lisa Dahl at the building level. So that's always an important thing. We want to make sure we have all the bonding done with them. The board also approved the annual financial report and the ECA risk reports. Both of those can be found on Gateway. If you have a trouble going to sleep, you can go on Gateway and you can read those two reports. They're many, many pages, but we share those with the board and get those approved by the board each year. We also had approval of our curricular programming updates through the Department of Ed. You can see those updates also if you want online. The board also approved a change on our collective bargaining unit with the GTA for 25-26. We are going to be adding the assistant AD position or the AD position at the junior high to the bargaining unit. And so we have to go through a process with ERB to make that happen. And one of the things with that is it has to be approved by the board, and we did that last night. Board also approved of disposing of some obsolete equipment, an old dump truck that's going to go up for auction at Maddox's, and then we're just going to dispose of some soccer and softball scoreboards as scrap material. So those were approved last night. And the board also approved continuing the Iowa farm rental with Jeff Diven. He's rented our properties the last few years, and we'll continue that process with him. And then the board also heard a presentation last night from the Jackson County Bank and their CEO, Marvin Veach, on services that they could provide to Greensburg schools. And between now and the October meeting, we'll be making a determination on if we're going to use Jackson County Bank as our main processor for all of our finances. So we'll see how that works out. But those are just some of the things. We also had quite a few people that we hired last night. Just mention those people. Josh Grossman is our freshman class sponsor. Kayla Myers, volunteer volleyball coach. Alexis Isid is volunteer volleyball coach. Both of those were at the high school. Jeremy Lips is volunteer soccer coach at the high school. Samantha Kane is our new head softball coach at the high school. And Logan Smith is our new head baseball coach at the high school. Both of those are Greensburg grads who came through our programs. We're very happy to have both of them, lead those programs at our high school. We also had Marissa Smauer as a new cafeteria employee at the junior high. April Huey is a custodial sub for our school system. Then we had Justin Fulmer, Sydney Neese, and Stephanie Cruiser as elementary part-time custodians hired, and then Paige Gauck and James Frenzemeyer as high school lifeguards hired. We had 2 resignations, Tabitha Meadows and Kim Casimir. They both resigned from the high school cafeteria. And then last night, something we always like, we had some donations to the school district. We're always very appreciative of donations from our community, just so giving. And we had $1,000 donated from 220 Youth Leadership for teacher leadership stipends. We had $1,288.73 from Sheldon and Elizabeth Smith to the Greensburg Elementary School kindergarten teachers. $6,953.05 from Catherine Jean Childress Fund to the high school music department, $1,000 from First Federal to the junior high student activities, $40 from Stones Napa to the junior high student activities, $100 from the Optimist Club to the high school library, and $200 from Napoleon State Bank to the junior high student activities. So those are the things that the board approved at last night's meetings.
Very good. So when donations are coming in, those are already allocated, which is great. So like the junior high activities, just different things that come up throughout the year that those things will be used for?
Usually those donations that go to our activities go to our PBIS program. And those are awards that are rewards that go to students for good behavior. It's part of our discipline program that we have at the junior high. So they usually use those monies to provide for those rewards that they give to the kids. So it all goes right back to the kids.
As school's kicked off, everybody is back in gear. Classes have started. Any feedback yet coming from parents, students on how the overall is going? Just the overall.
Overall, I think it's going very well. We've got some successful extracurricular programs. We have all of our programs that we're really proud of, up and operational academically. We have, a lot to offer through our vocational programs there at the high school. I think a lot of kids are taking advantage of our early education program that we offer, our nursing program, our Project Lead the Way classes. Visited a classroom last week in engineering, and kids were doing a project in there. Just amazing, what they do in those classes. Our new STEM labs that we have across the district are I think just doing just great things. Our innovation lab down at the junior high is just an amazing facility, and I just very proud of all the things that are going on academically in our school district. Our goal is, we want as many kids as possible in those classes that are going to enable them to get those college credits, so that when they graduate, they can start their college career as sophomores and miss that freshman year, hopefully. And we've got all kinds of opportunities there at the high school for that to happen with all the dual credits that we offer.
We've talked about virtual school, as you guys announced it earlier in the spring. It's grown substantially from where you started and thought it would be. Honestly,
it's one of those things I never dreamed that we'd be where we are right now. We have about 62 kids enrolled. Enrollment for this first semester will be cut off here pretty soon, but we're up to 62 kids. We were honestly hoping for about 20. So, it is a need that we're filling. We are probably a little bit more open to allowing kids that have different interests being involved, in that they can be totally virtual. They can be partially virtual, where they're taking classes online, but also coming into our schools taking classes. And when they do that, then they're also eligible for our extracurriculars, which has been something that a few kids are taking advantage of. With it being 6 through 12, there's a large group of probably homeschool kids in particular that are elementary age that we're not tapping into that group. We just really are going to concentrate on the 6 through 12 group, and it's been surprising. I really didn't think we'd have this many this soon. But Jennifer Bowles, who's the director over at the virtual school, she just does a fantastic job of connecting with parents and with kids, and she is there to help in any way she can, and kids really take advantage of it. When I've been in and out of the virtual school where they're just checking in with Jennifer, there's almost always parents in there with kids, and kids in there getting help, and she just is a wonderful asset in that virtual atmosphere.
When you look at the kids that are participating in that, you've got some in district, but several out of district?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids out of district. As far as I think the Greensburg students who could be sitting in one of our classrooms, I think there's only 14 out of the 62 that are Greensburg students. The rest come from out of district. It's just, I think it fits very well with what we want to do, provide opportunities. I mean, our whole brand is Think Opportunity, and it's just a different world. Kids don't all learn the same way. Some kids just can't function well around 600 other kids. They may function very well online, and we're providing that opportunity to them. So, I'd prefer that every kid, sitting in a seat, collaborating and being part of teams and learning, the leadership skills and collaboration that you get, I think, from being in a classroom. But, some kids learn other ways, and I think it's our responsibility to provide opportunities for every kid, and there definitely are kids taking advantage of it.
Working to capture that, definitely. We start looking at each of the schools. Greensburg Elementary, anything new happening in the elementary schools?
No, I think our main focus at the elementary school is to get kids reading by the end of third grade in particular, so that when they get into the upper elementary, they're going to be successful with reading, and then that's going to be a core thing for them as they get into junior high and high school, that they're good readers. So, I want our focus always to be on reading and on those fundamental math skills that they need at the elementary level. Our preschool program continues to be very, very successful. I tout that program because, when we didn't have that 5 years ago, we were having to retain a lot of kindergarten kids. Averaged about 25 kindergartners a year we were retaining. Since we started the preschool program, we've retained one kindergartner.
Wow,
So
that's outstanding.
It's fantastic, the job that those gals do in our program there with the 4-year-olds. Is just fantastic. It gets them ready to be a kindergartner when they're 5-year-olds. So, that is so important for us to get those kids off to an early start. And so, at the elementary, we're looking at a new reading program that's going to really run, K through 12, but that's something they'll be putting a lot of focus on, making sure it coincides with everything we want to do with the science of reading, and having a program in place curricular-wise that is just going to enhance what our teachers do a great job of already. And look back, over a history of I read. We're well above the 90%, every year in our I read scores. And, it's great. A few years ago we're at 98%, like ninth in the state. That's great to be that high, but it's much more, I think, important for us to be at that high level every year. Maybe not 98%, but I think, when you're up there above 92, 94% every single year, that's what's really important. And really our kids that don't pass the I read test are usually kids that, because everybody has to take it, they just may not have the capacity yet to where they can read. So, again, we do everything we can, both during the school year and during the summer, to make sure that by the time those kids are in third grade, finish their third grade year up, that they can read.
Looking at the new reading curriculum, would that go into effect next year?
It'll go into effect next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing this, going through the selection process, which again is very detailed. It's going to require a lot of time. There's over 20 teachers that are involved in that selection process, and we'll also have parent groups in each of the buildings also looking at the text once we get it narrowed down some, because I think there's about 8 different vendors we're looking at. We'll narrow it down to a workable number, and then we'll bring parents in to also have input from them on the reading program.
And that'll change corporation-wide.
It'll change corporation-wide. Yep.
Very good. We move over to the junior high. They're busy at it.
They're very busy at it. I don't know of any new programs we have there. One of the things that we talked about this summer administratively is we're not just going to throw a bunch of new things, on our staff. I think they have plenty on the table right now. There are things that we do really, really well. There's some other things that we can improve on what we're doing, and that's what we're going to work on. So, we have that really with being STEM certified at the junior high. We have a tremendous emphasis on STEM education, our science, technology, at the junior high, and we're going to continue that. But, we feel really strong about what's going on there.
All right, sports have also kicked off at the junior high level.
Yep.
Got cross country and volleyball and
Football.
Yeah.
Yep. Soccer. Yeah, we've got very successful teams in those areas as well. So we want kids to be actively participating, and our goal is every year is we want to see at least 80% of our kids that are participating. Love to have 100%. But our real goal is 80% of our kids participating in something. It's not always sports. We've got, we have e-sports, we have music, we have drama. We have a lot of clubs and activities outside of just athletics. So, we want our kids to come to school and enjoy maybe some other things than math class. Math class is very important, but, there's also other reasons why kids come to school, and just having a good time with your friends, that's important. And we want to provide opportunities for kids to have fun at school outside the classroom.
Finding those strengths. Kids have strengths in everything, whether it be drama or a sport or
Absolutely.
something else.
And those change. Sometimes Their strength may be in something as a 10-year-old they don't even know about yet, and they may figure that out when they're 15 years old. So, I think our job is to give them as many different things to be involved with as possible so they can make those choices.
High school continues to thrive, have the advanced classes, the college credits. Those are just highly successful and very popular.
Very successful, and this year we're starting the process of getting our high school STEM certified. So that's probably not going to happen. It won't happen this year, but that is a long process, and we're really beginning that process this year. We were planning on last year, but with everything with the new diploma track, again, you don't want to throw too much at one time on our staff, so we kind of set it aside, and we're going to start that process this year. We already have started that process this year. We'll work through it, and hopefully next year, and I don't have any doubts, next year we'll do the things that we need to do to make sure our high school is also STEM certified. Our goal is to be accredited, with Project Lead the Way as an outstanding school district with Project Lead the Way, and then to be STEM certified in all 3 of our buildings. And that's not the case in very many school districts where you have every building that's STEM certified.
Does the STEM certification, does that go through the state, or is it its own
It goes through
certification?
the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
So we got a lot of things going on this year.
Yes. Sports at the high school as well are off to a great start. It's been extremely busy and very successful.
Our volleyball team is outstanding year for them. Our soccer teams are doing really well. Our cross-country team's doing well. We've got some outstanding individuals on that. Our tennis team is doing very well. Golf, we have girls golf going on. No, boys golf. Wait a minute, I always forget. It's girls right now. Girls golf going on right now. They're having a good year. So it's again, go out to the high school at 3:00. Actually, probably 3:15 would be better. They'll all be out. Just amazing seeing all the things that are going on, extracurricular wise at our high school, and even in things like baseball and softball where it's not even season. There's kids out there, practicing with the coaches and utilizing those facilities, and it's just wonderful to see the kids involved. It's so much better seeing them out there being active than, thinking about them sitting on the couch, at home watching TV or on their computer for another 2 hours a day, So really loved seeing all the activities.
Marching and band, I believe, had a pretty successful weekend last weekend.
Yeah, they did. Had a real successful. They won their division, so congratulations to the Greensburg Decatur County Marching Band. They, I guess, small in numbers but mighty in ability. So that's great.
Quite an achievement.
Yeah.
We have coming now. There'll be a fall musical. Have they announced that yet? Or usually there isn't there?
I haven't. Yes, they have. I'm sure they have, but I don't know what the details are yet. I can get those for you.
Those will be next go round.
Yeah,
that's right. Anything else going on?
No, I think that's a rundown of a very busy few months here to start the school, and it'll continue probably up through the end of May. I don't anticipate it not being busy any given month, but we want it that way. We want to provide all the opportunities we can for kids, and that requires a lot of work. And just say a really big thank you to all of our administrators in our buildings and all of our teachers and staff in the buildings. None of that could happen without them, and we just have a wonderful group of people working with your kids in Greensburg schools.
Now, if someone, I know the enrolling in the virtual school, that's going to come to a close soon.
Mm-hmm.
What about regular schools? Are still, if you're in district, you can still enroll at Greensburg schools, or how does that?
Yeah, again, both of them are coming up, especially at the high school level because of credits. You can't just enroll if you haven't been in school and then get credits, for the semester. So if you haven't enrolled in Greensburg schools and you have the intent of doing so, you need to do so as soon as possible.
Needs to happen. Preschool, is there still openings available there?
No, the preschool's closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being on with us today.
Thank you.
Getting our update out there, and we'll see you next month. Fall break will be coming up in no time, right?
It absolutely will. Yeah. We got one little joke to finish the day.
All
okay?
right.
Okay. Why are the math teachers at Greensburg schools, why are they so upset?
Why are they so upset?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't expecting something like this today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They have so many problems they're dealing with.
Those poor math teachers. How true that is, Mr. Hunter.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's 1027 here on Tree Country 1330.